that we are focusing on the freshers in RP, right? What is RPA technology, understanding it, what career opportunities are available, and how can you grow in the RP industry? How can you target job opportunities? Like the very one thing that I have observed while talking with freshers and rookies is that they are very much scared that are there opportunities available for them or not, or how they can find the right opportunities. So today, me and Vishal thought to come up with this topic and you know help people with this particular thing, that how you can understand the RPA technology, work on UiPath. So we both are going to conduct this session. Vishal will give you a complete brief and a little bit detailed idea as well what RPA is, with some facts and numbers of job opportunities available in the market, and then I'll show a little quick demo and how you can find job opportunities using LinkedIn and UiPath job board. So this is how we are going to take our session. And like Rohit said, we do not want it to go one way. Even if there's less audience, we want more people to ask their doubts or something that they feel that they wanted to know or need mentorship with, right? So please do share any of your questions with respect to RPA, career, UiPath, anything, and we'll cover that it throughout the end of the session. So yes, Vishal, now I hand it over to you and you can start with the session.
Thanks, Parth. Thanks, Parth, for that detailed introduction. So that sets the context. So let me share my screen. Okay, I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right. So as we have seen in the agenda for today will be that we'll have a quick introduction. I think we already had. We'll talk what is RPA. You must have heard about the term RPA, right? You might have some idea, or you might be hearing it for the first time probably. So we'll discuss what exactly is what exactly do we mean by RPA. Myself, Parth, we work for UiPath. So UiPath is the leading vendor for RPA products. So we are going to talk about our UiPath as well. We'll talk about what can be automated. We'll talk about the vast capabilities that UiPath provides. Then I will hand over to Parth. He will give us a demo for the some automation which he has already done. So that will give us a brief idea and see the bot in action. So when I say bot means it is a RPA runtime session that robot is going to execute. So that is what we will see it in action. And then Parth will conclude with the UiPath and RPA job opportunities. So any questions before we start? Okay. Ketan, can you be on mute, please? Okay. So, all right. So, myself, Vishal Kalra, I'm working with AST Corporation as a senior principal consultant. I have been working in RPA space since more than 2 years now. I have worked on Automation Anywhere as well earlier, and I'm certified in both UiPath and Automation Anywhere. And currently, I'm working in UiPath, and I'm really liking the product and the things that we do. Parth, you want to give a brief introduction of yourself?
Yeah, I think it's same only. Like I work as a consultant at Wonderbot. It's been like 10, 11 months I've joined Wonderbot, and the day-to-day responsibilities like developing bots, working on documentation, and I find this particular role very interesting working at Wonderbot. And recently I became UiPath MVP as well. So it's like cherry on the cake kind of thing for me. So yeah, like that's a little bit of introduction about myself.
Yeah, thank you, Parth. So for people who are not aware, MVP is like people who are very much contributing to the community. They are visible throughout the community. They are helping people. They are having, they are writing blogs. They are making videos and stuff like that. So this is a very distinguished title, I would say, and congratulations, Parth, because it's not easy. Throughout the world, only few people are getting selected for this. So we are lucky to have you today here. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's start. So I will move to the next slide. So, okay, simply put, what is RPA? So normally, if you see on the left-hand side, we have processes that people, if you see the icon on the left, there are some people or humans who are working on some applications. It may be a UI application, it may be a desktop application, and so on, right? So we have one or the another process being done, right? In throughout our day-to-day life, if you are sitting on a computer, you might be working something on the Excel, you might be writing some email, you would be doing some or the other process, and you might be using one or the other application for doing that process, right? Now, what RPA is doing is, instead of humans doing that same process, the bots, the software robots are replacing the humans here, right? So the same things which a human is doing, this that is being done by the software robots now. So it might be as simple as you might have a data entry related work, right? You might be uh, having a list of customers that you want to enter it in your ERP system, or it might be as simple as responding to the email that I am working on so and so ticket, right? Or it might be as simple as going into an application and saying approving workflow and things like that. So there are a number of applications for the bots, and we will also look into few of the things that is possible. But simply put, when we say that RPA, it is that the human actions are being mimicked by the software robots. So when we say human actions, it is anything which you're doing by the keyboard or the mouse. So same thing is being replicated by the bot. So, so what the aim of the process is that you let the bot manage this mundane task, means repetitive task, and then you can do something more meaningful rather than doing those kind of mundane tasks, right? And you optimize the cost by that. Okay. Any questions here? I mean, at any point of time, feel free to stop me. As Parth said, we can have a discussion on any of the questions. Okay. So let me move to the next slide. So what is RPA? It's a technology that allows mimics actions, as I said, that are typically performed by humans. It is non-invasive and scalable. The meaning here is when a human is doing any interaction on any application, right? You don't actually need to, if you are working on any, if you're doing a Google sign in and entering any website, right? That time you are and entering, suppose you are filling information for yourself, right? You go into a form and fill the information for yourself. You don't need to understand or know the underlying uh, API which is getting invoked, or the logic which is there, which is underlying the system. You just need to go to the web form and then fill the information. So RPA is doing the same thing. You don't need to know the inner details. You just need to know what the human action is, on what the user action is, where I am clicking, where I'm typing, and if I know that much, that is enough for me to automate the process. So that's why he said that it's non-invasive and scalable. So scalable in the sense that if I want to enter 100 of entries, right, I might take even if 5 minutes for one entry, I might need 500 minutes. So if I want to do it in a human via humans, then it will take a lot of time. But with automation, you just automate it once and then it is scalable. You can scale it to whatever scale that you want to have. So it is then you are not limited by the human action. The third point is it can be work in any industry. So is it something that it can only do a data entry stuff? No, not really. Is it something that it can only be used in a software industry? No, not really. It can be used in any industry. We have use cases in healthcare, we have use cases manufacturing and so on. We have use cases in education. There are n number of use cases across the industry, and now when you combine with AI, you get a real power. So AI is artificial intelligence. So when we say RPA, it is a predefined process. When we are saying AI, then it is like you are having a well-defined, you have a data set or you have data that is helping you make informed decision. So we as humans use our brains, right, to kind of make any decision. How do we do make a decision? Based on our experience or based on our whatever information we have. Similarly, what we are with artificial intelligence, we feed the process with lot of data, and based on that data the analysis is done, and then the bot can take a decision that this is something which is doable or not doable, something like that. So RPA can be combined with AI, and that can give tremendous results. RPA reduces the cost and time taken to any activity, and thereby increases the return on investment. Obviously, like when you are automating things, you are increasing your ROI, and any repetitive or rule-based processes with low exception rate can be automated. So this is a key here, the fifth point. It should be a rule-based process, right? If I want to automate something, I need to have a definite set of rules that I need to follow. And if I have that set of rules, if I can say that this is what I really follow, then I can really automate it. So that's a key point here. Okay. So a lot of information on this slide, but this is like a gist of what RPA is actually. Okay. All right. So let's talk about some numbers. These are numbers from Gartner report. So as you know, Gartner is, you might have heard about Gartner. So it's a industry-wide research firm where it kind of publishes the numbers or the growth aspects in different areas, not only for RPA. So Gartner kind of publishes reports for different areas that are available, right? So talking about RPA, so 80% of the RPA-centric automation implementations will derive value from complementary technologies. So it's just not your UI automation or things like that. There are other complementary technologies, like we talked about AI. There's document understanding and so on. Those technologies are getting merged, and all of this will get by 2022. So we are already in 2022. We will have benefits, and we are predicting benefits for 80% of the RPA-centric automation implementations. By 2023, 50% of the new RPA scripts will be dynamically generated. So even within the RPA space, there is a automation, like you will do a drag and drop, but the underlying scripts are automatically. In fact, UiPath is already ahead of the curve here. You can say that most of the things, the underlying scripts, you don't need to worry. You don't need to write. You need to write very bare minimum of the code, and rest of the things this can be dynamically generated. There'll be 30%, 2023, there'll be 30% increase in the use of RPA for front office automation. So front office functions, like anything which is sales and customer experience, there'll be a 30% increase in the use of RPA. You can see it is being used in many of the processes, and this is one of the numbers for that. And again, the last point is by 2024, organizations will lower operational cost by will lower the operational cost by 30% by combining hyper automation technologies. So hyper automation is an umbrella under which we have RPA, we have AI, and stuff like that. So all of this combined will have a organizations which are using the hyper automation technologies will have a lower operational cost by 30%. So these are few of the numbers just to give a context on how Gartner foresees the use of RPA going forward. Okay, so what is UiPath? It is an enterprise cloud portal tool. Enterprise cloud portal tool is, it's not only just, we'll see the last slide talks about the various capabilities of UiPath, but I mean, it's not only limited. It is like a enterprise tool. There are lot of useful features when you are actually going to UiPath. It allows you to have various automation like web, Excel, PDF, Citrix. If you have any Citrix-based application, that also can be automated. It has advanced data scraping functionality. Data scraping meaning if I want to get some information from the website, I can build a bot. It will select that information. I can download it into Excel, CSV, or whatever format, and then I can use it for my consumption. It also provides various additional features like chatbots, apps, data service, insights, and so on. So we'll talk about this. So there are a lot of features which are available with UiPath, and it is a leading RPA vendor too. So, okay, what can be automated? Let's talk about what can be automated. Say email automation. Suppose you want to read an email, you want to download attachments from an email, and in fact, you want to reply to an email, that can be automated. Excel automation, anything, I would say it's a rich set wherein you can automate almost everything from Excel. You can read cell, you can merge data from two Excels. You can perform almost all the actions which you would do in an Excel. So it's very powerful when you want to do any Excel-based automation. So if I want to download some information from a website, push it to Excel, then read from that Excel and push it to a database and things like that, I can easily do that. PDF automation is also possible. I can read text from PDF. I can read text with OCR, optical character recognition. I can extract some of the information from PDF and then use it for my consumption. So when I say OCR, it is like a PDF, maybe a digital PDF, or it might be a PDF which is a scanned PDF, right? So if it is a scanned PDF, there are some OCR engines, and UiPath allows almost 5-6 OCR engines. Using that engines, I can read that text as well, which is actually not digitally typed. So that is also possible with PDF automation. Document understanding is again, suppose I have a handwritten invoice that I want to read, right? So that invoice, if I can scan, then I can read it through document understanding. And this is a very useful feature because there are still, you believe it or not, there are still a lot of processes where people still use a handwritten form, right? And then you want to digitalize it. So imagine if somebody has to actually read that invoice or read that document and actually type that. That is a waste of the efforts for a human to do, right? So you can use a bot. A bot can read that and gives a fairly good accuracy. What you can do is you can get the form read by the bot. Bot can read that form, and based on the percentage confidence, you can redirect it to a human to just validate it. The human will just do a validation, quick validation, and then it is good to go. And if the bot confidence levels or is like say whatever threshold you keep, 99%, you can even make it seamless. So everything there are a lot of possibilities in that in this area as well. When we talk about testing, there is a UiPath Test Manager suite. So normally there are some tools which you use for testing, right? You might have Jira or some other tools which you are using. So you might be, then you might wonder why I need UiPath Test Manager. So here again, UiPath tool is an enterprise-wide tool. You can manage everything from here. So what you can do is you can directly start from the test manager. What we'll do is you can use something known as task capture. You do a test automation once. The task capture will capture the task that you are doing. Okay. It will build the test cases for you, and then you can directly, it will feed into your repository, and then you can run this tools, test managers, test cases seamlessly. So you don't need to do much. You just need to record it once, and can also be kind of integrated with external tools as well. So again, there are a lot of possibilities here. The last point is the integration service. So this is a fairly new addition. So normally I'm from an integration background, so I know that if I want to do some integration, I need to know a lot of things for the end system. If I want to do ERP integration and so on, then I need to get that information from the ERP team, uh, get build a integration logic for integrating, say, customer from ERP to any other end system or item from one system to another. So UiPath has also now introduced the integration service. There are pre-built adapters, and with these adapters, you can easily build an integration service, which is also a very important tool which is now available on UiPath. So these are just few of the points. I mean, if we talk about the possibilities, there are many possibilities. So these are some of the few points I thought to kind of highlight at the current slide. Okay. Okay. So UiPath capabilities, this is a big slide. Will not go through all, but if we kind of divide it into sections of discover, build, manage, run, and engage, there are tools or there are features available in UiPath for each of them. So discover is like discovering your automation opportunities. So there is something known as task mining, process mining. Through this, what will happen is you can deploy this on your existing systems, and this is like a bot sitting on your laptop or desktop. It will see what actions you are taking, right? It will identify what are the opportunities that are available in your current process for automation. So this is like a discovery tool. You just install the tool in your system, and then it will monitor your process, and then it will discover and say that, okay, this is something that can be automated. So it's really handy, and it is really useful, so that you might not know, right, what is something that I can automate, but this can help you do that. Okay. Then there's a feature called task capture. So task capture is something wherein you might be doing some processing, right? You might be doing some process, and task capture will capture your clicks. It will capture how much time you are spending on a screen, how much uh, what the things actions you are taking on that screen, and then it will dump a document out for you, so that you can then analyze and see, okay, this is what I'm doing. And normally, if the human would do it, then they would have to go through each and every screen. They would have to know each and every things that we are entering. But with task capture, it is easily done. Like you just run it once and everything is captured. There is an automation hub. Is like again, it gives a detailed assessment of whatever processes are there at your center where you can be automated. For building, there is a rich set of studio family. You have Studio X, so that is the IDE which we use. So again, there are Studio X, some different IDs which are available. Document understanding we talked about. If you want to convert from a handwritten to a digital format, then document understanding will come into picture. There's a marketplace, so you won't need to do everything from scratch. You can download things from a marketplace. The UiPath community is really strong, and there are a lot of connectors, a lot of things available in the marketplace. Few of the things are very easy to download, and then you can use it directly, right? So there might be a pre-built automation already available. You won't need to reinvent the wheel. You can directly download it from the marketplace. Integration service we talked about, integrating with other end systems and so on. When we say manage automation cloud, it's again a web-based interface where you can manage your entire bot ecosystem. You can see how your bots are running, what are the processes that are automated and so on. And another important feature for management is insights. So the bot, how your bot is running and things you will manage as a developer, right? But from the management perspective, they might want to see a bird's eye view of how things are. Say I have deployed 5 bots. How many processes were automated and how those 5 bots were performing. If I want to get that information, then I'll go with insights. So it gives an advanced reporting capability wherein I can see that, okay, this is how my entire ecosystem for the RPA is working. And then again, we have AI Center. So suppose I have that document understanding tool and then I'm automating things. I can push it to AI Center, and then a human can, sorry, in the AI Center, we have the machine learning algorithms. So when we say AI, artificial intelligence, it's not that you need to write a machine learning algorithm. You have already pre-built algorithms already available, and you can pick and choose from here. So this is a very handy feature. You don't need to know everything about the machine learning, but you can still use the machine learning. So that is a good part. And it is very easy to get started with machine learning now with AI Center. You have pre-built models. You can use the model and deploy it, and you can get ready within a quick time. Okay, and our runtime is through bots. So actually, it's robots or bots. In short, we call it bots. So even in the automation, for the instead of calling it robot every time, we just call it bot. So when I'm saying bot, it is nothing but the robots. It's the runtime which is actually running the automation. Okay, and for engaging, you have apps. You can build apps actually now. You have Action Center, wherein this is the place wherein the human would come and take some action which the bot has put. So this is an overall capability of UiPath. So as you can see, there are so many capabilities, so many features available. If we talk about each of these features, it itself will take more than one session. But this is just to give you a bird's eye overview of the things which are available. Okay. Any questions here? I think there's a lot of information, but if there's any question, we can take a pause.
Vishal, one question. This is Shivin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Shivam.
you know
Yeah,
me,
hi,
right?
yeah, Shivam.
Yeah. It's actually one question. Anyway, there will be license cost, right, for the UiPath. So that includes for all these features, discover, build, or is that a separate license?
Yeah, if there are additional features, there is additional license that is required. So
Mhm.
your normally when you take a license, your license will be per bot. Like you might have, suppose I want to take 5 bots, which will be available for me, right? I will take an unattended or attended. So I didn't talk about that, but the bot itself has again an option of attended or unattended bot. But any additional features that we are talking about, say insights and things like that, that is another additional license.
Okay. And for the learning purpose, is this actually any free trial or something like that available?
Yes, yes. So Parth will show you that the orchestrator, anyone can learn UiPath. You directly get an enterprise with all these features. You can have a 60 days license. So I can have insights. I can have everything enabled for me. I don't need to spend for that. Everything is available for me. So you can register and start working seamlessly with all these features. So you don't need to pay a single rupee for that.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks, Vishal.
yeah, sure, no problem. Okay, so Parth, I'll hand over to you. So Parth will give us a automation demo. Then he will talk about this RPA career opportunities as well. And then probably we'll come to this slide, which will give an overview of the UiPath community. Yeah, Parth, over to you.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Thank you so much, Vishal. Okay, so I'll share my screen. Just let me know when the screen is visible.
Yeah, it is visible.
Okay. Okay. So hi everyone. Like I'm going to give a very simple and a short demo of bot, not going to, burst you all with too much of technicalities and building bot and the complex logic and all that. So we are going to build a very simple bot, which is going to be about scraping the data from a Flipkart website. So I'm just going to go and open a new window. I'm going to go to flipkart.com, and this is something that I'm doing manually. This is not something that our bot will do, but I'm trying to explain the use case over here. So now here what we are going to do is we are going to take this model number and we are going to take this price. So if you see, there are around 357 results. So many times it can be the cases that you want only the top 100 results. You want only top 150 results. You want only 50 results. It can be anything, that type of condition. So how can you handle that kind of conditions during data scraping? That is one thing that we are going to see. How you can extract all the data. If your data spans multiple pages, how can you extract data from multiple pages? So these are the things that we are going to see. But before I move on to this, anyone who has done this similar kind of thing or has something to share or knows the answer to how to limit the data that we want to extract? Anyone who knows answer to this question? Okay. So no one knows like how we can limit the results from 357 to extracting only 50, 25 or 30. Anyone has any idea on that? Uh, Sorry, I think someone's speaking, but the voice is not clear
Uh,
to me.
so Parth, in the chat, there's a Rohit has replied data scrapping.
Okay. Yes, we are definitely going to use data scraping, but how are you going to limit your results? Like you don't want to extract all the one, but okay, no problem. We'll say it while we are building it. Yes, no problem. Okay. So yeah, let me go to this. Now, as we know, the answer already is data scraping. So we are going to use that. Now in data scraping, I'm going to first click on next and I'm going to indicate this particular name. Now the data scraping in UiPath follows a logic of pattern indication. If you indicate a particular pattern on your website, on your desktop application, anywhere, whatever application that you want to extract the data from, once you indicate that pattern, it will extract the data automatically. So now I have indicated the first name. Now I'm going to click on next and I'm going to indicate the second name. Yeah, sorry guys. Okay, so let me pick data scraping again. I'm going to click on next, indicate my first value, click on next, indicate my second value. And I'm going to name my column as model. So now if I scroll down over here, you see each and every the name which is there is highlighted. So this is what we have to do over here, that we have to indicate a pattern in which you can extract your data. Now, if you want the URL, you can add that, but we are not going to do that. Now, I'm going to click on next. And if you see, the names of this particular page data has been extracted. Now, I think Rohit who had mentioned the answer. If you all see over here, maximum number of results, right? So if I want to limit my result extraction, if I want to keep it 25, if I want to keep it 500, or like you see, zero for all. So if I keep zero, it will extract all the data. So this is something that is how you can limit the data. Now, extract correlated data is something that you will use to extract the price. So before I move on to indicating the price and extracting it, anyone has any question till this particular part?
Yeah. Hi, Parth. Myself, Lakshman.
Hey, Lakshman.
Suppose in our page, it's showing the only 5 rows. By chance of if I mention the addition to the plus, maximum number of the results, if I mention the 6, what would be happen?
So if only 5 is available, then only 5 will be extracted. Now let's suppose on this page, we have like 357. If I mention 400 over here, but at 357, it will find the end. It will not find the next item of that particular pattern. So then it will not extract the further data. It will just simply stop over there.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. So I'm going to make it 0 and I'm going to click on extract correlated data. Now I'm going to indicate the price. And this is going to be the second one. I'm going to name this column as price. And I'm going to click on it. So now if you see, the price matching this particular page model has been extracted. Now, when I click on finish over here, it will ask me to indicate a next button. Like if you want to extract the data spanning multiple pages. So while clicking on finish, if you say is data spanning multiple pages, identify the element that navigates to the next pages, it could be the next button. So we are press yes to indicate. So I'm going to click on yes, and this is my next button. So I want it to automatically go to the next pages. Now, if you see, the sequence is already built over here. Now, coming to this part. Yeah, just give me a second. Yes, okay. Now, if you see, the data is going to be extracted into a data table. Now, data table is something which contains rows and columns, right? So data table will have your rows that we see the model and the price, and the columns will be model and price that too we created initially. Now in variables, if you see, this is limited to this particular scope of sequence data scripting. If you want to increase it, you can put it to main sequence. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to write this data into an Excel file and then we'll run the bot. But before that, anyone has any question till this part, that how we have used the data scraping and limited our search result, or how we can limit it? Any questions revolving around that, feel free to unmute yourself. If no, then in a minute we'll move to the next part. Yes, Lakshman.
How it's going to identify the exact page? We didn't find that, right?
Okay.
Whether the Flipkart or
So that is what something like if you see over here. Now there are two processes. One, that I know the website is already going to be open, right? That first page, and I'm going to attach that particular window. From that, it will go to the next page. One is you do completely from scratch, that you do use open browser, you open flipkart.com, you type iPhone, you click enter, and then your page comes. So here we are using a methodology where I'm assuming that my page is already open on that particular thing. But if not, then you use open browser and all these steps.
yeah, okay. Suppose if I open the two browsers with the same URL, Flipkart.
Okay.
And how it's going to be identify the
okay, so now let's suppose you used open browser www.flipkart.com, open browser www.flipkart.com, And with the next one that you do, so the most recent browser instance which is there that you are using in your UiPath to open, it will consider that.
Okay, suppose if the first one Flipkart belongs to India and the second one belongs to other country, I just
Right.
want to grab from the both both web pages.
Right.
Then
So
how
then that will be individual because the URL will get different. Like in India, it can be en-us, and in like the US Flipkart URL, it can be something different. So that URL will be different. So you will have two extract structured data. One will be for your Indian URL and one can be for your US URL.
okay, great. So unique identities are there. Okay, fine.
Yes, unique identities are there. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Lakshman. Anyone else having any questions? Okay. Now, if you see over here, there are two write ranges. Now, why do we have two write range? So here the thing is, one is when the Excel is installed on system, one is when the Excel is not installed. So workbook is for not installed and Excel one is for installed, which you use within an Excel application scope. So I'm going to use the one without Excel being installed. I'm going to name my file as extracted data.xlsx. Data table is going to be extract data table. I'm going to add headers, which is one of the property, and I'm going to click on save. Now I'll go back to my website, be on this start of the page, and now I'm going to so now I'm going to run my bot. Run. Now let's see how well it extracts all the data. So if you see, it is spanning all the multiple pages. Now it has kind of reached the last page and it is probably writing my Excel file right now. So once that is done, then we will see the output in our Excel file. Okay, so the output file should be here itself. I'm going to refresh it and we have extracted data, and let's see, do we have the extracted data correctly or not? So if you see over here, I have all the extracted data along with price, and the total data extracted is 357. Like one is the header, so it's 357, like 358 minus one. So this is how we can extract the data. Now, if you see, I had written 0, right? So I forgot who had the question, but someone had like, if I give more count, then the data is available. So in this case, we give 0. So it is like infinite. But here it extracted only 357 results. So 1 second. Yeah. So here, as we can see, it only extracted 357 results. Like even if we give 0, that is an infinite count, but it will extract only the data that is available, that is indicated in your path. Anyone having any questions till this part, or any queries or something that you would like to ask?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes, Lakshman.
Suppose when we are bot reacting to the clicking on the next page due to internet slowness or something bandwidth issue, if it is not going to open the next page, how bot going to react?
Okay, so if you don't have exception handling, the bot is going to fail.
Okay.
Right. If you have exception handling, that this kind of exception is occurred, like UI not available or something like that, and then you send an email that the bot could not extract the data because the UI was not visible or not available, something like that. So if you have that kind of exception handling implemented, that can be done. Or if you like want to have a retry mechanism, that if in the first go it is not extracted, then in a catch you throw a system exception in maybe your REA framework or a normal process, because it is a system exception that your website is not loading and it's application level error. So then you rerun the bot right from the start, like opening the browser and extracting the data. Because if the error comes, then it might not have written in the Excel file as well. So before that only you catch that error and you do the complete processing.
Yeah, okay. And choosing the rows, can I give the dynamic value? Like suppose this page has 1,000 records. I just want to choose 80% of the records, or random to do kind of a statistical analysis or something like. Can I choose a random or a percentage dynamic figures?
See, if you want dynamic figures, right, your max number of results are there, right? So if you want, you can pass a variable over here. It will be an integer variable that you want to extract only this much amount of data. So that is something that you can give if you want to extract dynamic data every time you are extracting it. So this is something that you can do, like the modification.
So just to add to that, Lakshman, like there is a random function again. So if your requirement is to extract random amount of data, like Parth said, create a variable, add some random value, and assign that variable here. That's it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Anyone else having any questions regarding the process that we have built or anything around that? If not, then we move to the almost closing part of our session where we find the job opportunities. Okay, I think it seems to be good. Okay. So now for me, finding the career opportunities or finding the job opportunities, like many people use Naukri.com, Glassdoor, or there are so many portals. Like I don't even remember the names of the portals, but that many portals are right now available in the market. But how to find something that fits for you, right? Or maybe someone like I know Vishal, if Vishal company has openings, then what is the place that I can easily identify? Or if I know Vishal, I can just connect with him over LinkedIn, right? Or I can ask him that Vishal, does your company have openings? So for me, what I believe is one of the main source of finding the right career opportunities and job opportunities is going to be on LinkedIn. Like it is the place where you not only find an opportunity, but you also find people that whom you can connect to. Now many times you don't know that there is this opportunity available, but does your any friend work or not in that company, or there is the some second or third connection work or not in that company. So if I go to linkedin.com, right, this is what I prefer and suggest to every and other each and every person whom I communicate with and who is looking for jobs, right, that how to find that particular opportunity. Now like right now I'm talking in the session, right, so you all came to know that Parth works at Wonderbot. So I'm just going to simply go to Wonderbots, right, and I'm going to see their job section, like if any jobs are available or not. So if you see over here, let me just, okay, I think I did not type it completely, but yeah, Wonderbots, I'm going to go over here. And every company in the RPA right now is active on LinkedIn, posting their jobs daily, frequently, monthly, whenever they have new openings. So if I go to jobs over here, and you just see the number of jobs available over here: RP business analyst, UiPath developer, ABFCI developer, and then etc., like intelligent automation developer, consultant, business analyst, as you can see. Now not only this helps, okay, not only seeing the job opportunities, but I know that from my connections 86 people are working over here, right? You see the employee count, you see the connections. Now you can go over here and you can find if there is someone that you know whom you can communicate with and know more about the organization. Now even if I go to Vishal's profile, right, so let me go to Vishal's profile. Yep. So yeah, now I'm just going to go to Vishal's company's LinkedIn page, which is there, right? and I'm going to go to the job section and let's see if we have any. Now, if you see over here, senior BI developer, consultant, Angular, right? You will find all the various type of opportunities over there, and same thing over here from AST LLC, right? There are three people common in my connections along with Vishal. It's Shreyas, Dharmendra, Vidya, like I see right now. So this is how you, from LinkedIn, you not only find the companies that you want to go in, but you also find the people that you want to talk to or ask or get in feedback about the company. So everyone who is there in the session right now, if you're looking for jobs, use LinkedIn as your primary tool to find jobs, to apply to them, right? To communicate with the people, know about company, what is the career growth opportunities available over there. Everything that you want, you can get through this one particular page. If you think you want to join a particular organization, start following them on LinkedIn, see what their recent activities, how it is like, whether it is an employee company, like how much do they take care of employees, what are their different things they keep on doing within the organization to keep the employee engagement active during this virtual environment as well. So that are the many things that you get to know easily in a bit through LinkedIn. So if you are looking for jobs or whatever you want to find about a company, about a person who is working at that company, LinkedIn should be your source platform. And like you can connect with me anytime, like with Vishal, Rohit, anyone as well, right? So Rohit's profile, I'm not going to go because it's going to show me UiPath only, right? So like everyone knows about it, and there are, so definitely, like I think more than 50, 60 job openings that we will find. But other than that, with like individuals like us who are not a part of product based company but a service based company or consulting companies, you can find information about such companies in this particular way. So I think this particular method can help you a lot to target and find job opportunities for yourself. Anything, Vishal or Rohit, that you would like to add, or anyone who has any questions, feel free to unmute.
Yeah, so just to add, just one is finding the job, which is very critical, which you can apply through LinkedIn on. But one thing that even I have noticed in recent past is just applying is not enough because of the sheer volume of applications which come into every job. So that's where the first point which Parth mentioned about connecting with your first degree, second degree connections, reaching out to them, and building that relationship is going to be very critical to make sure that the application that you are sending through LinkedIn is actually noticed. So I think that gives you a much better chance of being noticed and getting an interview opportunity over there. Secondly, while you are following them, also look for some of the skill sets that some of these roles are requiring, especially in the tech domain. The skill sets or the tools that a business analyst needed 2-3 years back is very different than what they are using today. So it's important to get updated on what are the new tools coming, and whatever upskilling that needs to be done. Today you will find all sorts of platforms to learn, get certified for free online. So make sure that you are right on track to make to be at the right place at the right opportunity that you find. In UiPath as well, if you want to learn about any course, any products of UiPath, you can just go to academy.uipath.com and get certified for free on any of the programs over there. So yeah, that's all I had to share. Vishal, anything that you would want to add to it?
No, Rohit, I think you covered it. So I think what Parth is showing is the academy. So to learn UiPath, it's like everything. I mean, you don't have to pay a single rupee, as I said. As Parth is showing, you have very good courses available here, and you can just spend some time here, do hands-on, gain confidence. Once you gain that confidence, you can start building bots, and once you start building bots, you can apply your knowledge, right, whatever you are learning. So it is very much, and the most important or the most useful part of UiPath is that you have a very strong and vibrant community. So if you are stuck up anywhere, you can go into the blog, into the forums, post your question, and there'll be so many people helping you out there. Yeah, Parth, I think you are showing the academy, right? Yeah.
No, I'm like just you and Rohit when they're speaking. I'm just scrolling through the academy so that Like
Okay.
the way you are speaking, that the products and all that we see
Yeah,
over here.
you can everyone can filter based
Right.
on their level. So you can just select beginner if required, and find the relevant courses for the beginners. You don't necessarily need to expertise in everything. You can pick and choose what works for you the best, especially if you are a fresher who is very brand new to RPA, and thinks that this is something that they really want to have in their arsenal. Start with the starter course, and then obviously you will yourself get an idea on which area do you personally want to pick and work on. Parth and Vishal, just one question I had from you. I mean, you are like very young into the RPA industry. How do you see the career opportunities growing for you as with time, considering when you started to today? How's the scenario changed, and how do you see it changing moving forward?
So,
Yeah, Vishal, you can go ahead. Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I mean, thanks, Rohit, for that question. So basically, we the way we are working, right, that is changing, right? So nobody wants to spend time doing tasks that can be automated, right? Automation is everywhere. I mean, when we talk about automation, hyper automation, AI, things like that, these are not a buzzwords now. They are getting implemented, and so there are a lot of opportunities. There are a lot of companies who are looking to automate their things. There are a lot of things which can be automated. It's just that you need to have an eye for the things that can be automated. And once it just needs a spark or start, right? Once you automate one process, you immediately find out, okay, there'll be n number of other processes that can immediately follow, and you will just get a hang of it. Once you enter into the automation space, you'll start looking for automation opportunities throughout. Yeah, Parth, you want to?
Yeah, and I think like before I answer that, there's one question that how much UiPath certification costs. So like there are two certifications, and the one is UiPath RPA Associate, which costs $150, and the second one is the advanced one, which is $200. But like with this, recently I've seen a lot of community, engagement happening from UiPath, where UiPath is giving free vouchers as well. So I would suggest you to like that is the reason of staying active on LinkedIn and being part of the community events, because in many events there are this vouchers being offered or exam in hackathons in the use cases thing that happened recently. Like there were use cases asked to be published till 31st January, and there were voucher coupon given, exam voucher coupon. So that is something that I would suggest you to keep a track on and stay updated it with, right? And now the Rohit, the question that you asked, right? So for me, like when I started and what I see right now, the opportunities have like almost multiplied, I believe. Like every company hiring developers, and I don't think it's only for experienced people, but it's like for wide range of people, right from freshers till experienced, mid experienced, and senior level as well, like solution architects, infrastructure engineers, and all that. So that kind of role openings I have been saying a lot, almost like every 2 3 days on LinkedIn of different companies. So for me it's like almost multiplied in my vision.
Thank you. Rohit, just to add on that point which you mentioned, while the associate and the advanced certifications have some cost, and as Parth mentioned, a lot of community members or active contributors get free vouchers for it. For you to learn any of the tools, any of the products, or upskill yourself in RPA or any of the products of UiPath, all the other courses are available to you for free. So you don't have any barriers in terms of accessing any of that on the academy, which Parth had just recently shown. So yeah, just wanted to add that as well. I would like to open it up to the audience. Any questions that you would have regarding RPA, UiPath, or anything that you would want to ask specifically to any speaker?
Yes, Rohita, you can like do associate without advanced. Like if you feel you are confident for the advanced exam, definitely you should give the advanced.
Any questions? Feel free to just unmute yourself and you can shoot. Thank you, Shibin. Guys, I believe there aren't any questions. If you feel that there are anything that comes to your mind later on, feel free to connect with us on LinkedIn, or you can just write to us at community at uipath.com, and we will revert back to you with any of the questions that you would want answered. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining on a Friday evening. It is really exciting to see so many people who are really excited to learn about RPA and what the career opportunity that is there to offer. I would request all of you to visit community.uipath.com to make sure that you are subscribed for all the activities, any meetups that are going to be planned, so that you don't miss out on any. And also special bigger thanks to Vishal and Parth for sparing their time and interacting with all of us to give us the wonderful demo and the context behind RPA as an industry and a career option. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending this session. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So
Bye.
much. Bye bye.